Yo, what's going on to the Gambling Gang, man? Appreciate you guys for being here. Today is December 27th, 2022. This is another edition of ChrisBeCappinn NBA show where we try to collectively come together, bring some of the sharpest angles, and cash some tickets in the NBA. We got a nice slate for today. Hopefully, you guys have done some research and found some looks that you absolutely love, and I can't wait to hear them. And I got a couple that I really like as well. That I've placed and some pending ones as well. So, with no further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it real quick, as we always do. Real quick recap for yesterday. Nice bounce back spot after not having the greatest day on Christmas. 3-0 yesterday. We cashed on the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm sorry, the Los Angeles Clippers team total over 114.5. I gave that one out yesterday evening. Also on Kyrie, points plus assists, 28.5. That cashed pretty easily. And then we also cashed on Nurkic rebounds in the third quarter. So pretty good day yesterday. Definitely looking to kind of keep that going today. A lot of games where I typically, give out 5-6 plays. I'm not doing that tonight. I am not having a lot of plays that, that I'm playing tonight, because typically that's when I end up having a pretty bad night. So I capped a lot of these games last night. Upset with myself for not, putting out the video earlier, because I capped the total of the Wizards in the 76ers game today at 222, but ended up taking the worst line. But I still like the line tonight, man. So let's get into the slate for today, man. Hit the like button for me if you guys can. Show the show some love. Always doing the show. It's always free. Always, trying to get some cash and help people, as best as I can as well. So hit the like button for me. Let's get into it. So first game up, and I actually don't even have banners today. So if you're watching on YouTube, I don't even have banners up for today. We got let's see, let me make sure I have the most updated lines, and it looks like I do. We're not seeing a lot, too much movement anywhere from earlier today when I first looked at it. But let's go to the Lakers and the Orlando Magic game first. So Lakers on the road. This is the first front end of a back-to-back road back-to-back for them. They're also coming off the Christmas Day game where they came out strong, and then just regressed back to the mean. They gave up, I think it was 51. I think they lost the third quarter 51-31. They were winning by double digits at halftime, losing by 20 at the end of the third quarter. Really, really difficult to do in today's NBA. But, regress back to the mean. I talked about the Dallas Mavericks team total over for the first quarter and the first half. I got a little too cute. I think it's a spot where Dallas typically comes out and plays well at home in the first half, which is why I took that. Their offense typically falls off just a tad bit towards the end of the game. So I was looking at the Dallas Mavericks team total to go over early, first quarter, first half, and it actually bit me in the butt, and they cashed the full game over. So Lakers in this spot tonight against Orlando, who, don't look now, but Orlando has actually been balling. This team is on fire right now. They're 10-1-1 against the spread in the month of December, including 10 straight covers, which is absolutely impressive by anyone. They've gone over their team total in 8 of their last 9 games this month, and 4 of their last 4 games this month at home. They're also 3-0 to the team total over the last 3 games at home versus the West. So I couldn't talk anybody off of looking at Orlando Magic, the team total, especially if you don't want to play the spread. The Orlando Magic were favorites in the last game against San Antonio Spurs. They struggled just a tad bit, but they did end up covering that game and winning it. Right now, the team total is at 119.5. If you jump on these lines the night before, granted you want to know all the injury news, but if you jump on these lines before, you can get, you're always going to get a better number. You do your research, you go with your gut, and you get, hopefully you get some, some closing line value, some positive COV on these bets, because Orlando Magic team total last night, I think, was 117.5. But right now, I feel like it's still playable at 119.5. And I'm probably going to end up making that official play. I haven't locked that one in yet, but I do like the Magic team total over the 119.5. I got it written down with a question mark beside it. What else did I want to mention in this one? Also, so the other part of that, besides the Orlando part, is the Lakers, right? You look at their defense. It's been absolutely atrocious recently, specifically without AD and specifically while on the road, right? And that's the situation for both tonight. 4-0 to the over their last 4 games, 5-1 to the over in road games without AD. Last 5 teams have all gone over their team total. average total of about 243 points. You see the total in this one steam up from 233.5 up to 237. Couldn't talk anyone off, still probably playing the over. 5-1 to the over versus the East in away games, average total of about 243 points on average. And 9 straight opponents have hit their team total over in road games versus when opponents are more rested than the Lakers are. So both of these teams play tomorrow. The Lakers have a big game against the Miami Heat. And I don't even know if it's a big game. I feel like at this point for the Lakers, they should just be trying to beat anybody that they can, not necessarily worry about who the opponent is. So also, Orlando Magic do travel tomorrow. They play in Detroit tomorrow versus the Detroit Pistons tomorrow. So both of these teams have a game tomorrow. And I didn't really look at any player props in this one. I do think that, just thinking about the game, LeBron probably does want to, play well tomorrow for in the return to Miami. So I could see him kind of coasting, a tad bit tonight. Somebody on the Lakers is going to step up. I'm not 100% sure who that is, because if I did know, I would tell you guys who I thought that'd be. But it could be Austin Reeves. It could be Lonnie Walker. I do think that, the way you attack this Orlando Magic, we've talked about it before, repeatedly, the way you attack this Orlando Magic team, because they have so much length and athleticism, on their front line, is you typically attack them through guard play, right? We attack them through Trae Young assists. We attack them through D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Edwards when they played against Minnesota. So I think, if you're looking for one of these guards in the Lakers and Orlando, for the Lakers specifically, somebody's going to have to step up and help LeBron, especially if you're going to get to a total of 237 points, whatever, the Lakers share is of that. I do think that, 114, I think it is, you probably do want to look towards one of those guards. But official play for me, nothing yet, but I'm really close to locking in Orlando team total over the 119.5. Next game up is the Philadelphia 76ers and the Washington Wizards. Spreading this one opened at Philly, laying 4. It's up to 4.5 and 5, mostly 5s at other books. Total in this one, this was one I was talking about, shot up from 221 all the way to 224.5, 225, 225.5. Whatever the total is right now, I still kind of like it to go over. You look at this Philly team, and I just feel like, in my opinion, I feel like they're not the books haven't adjusted to their offense recently, right? This team is 6-2 to the over with Embiid on the road, playing games, the average of about 227 points. But then you look at, this team being the Philadelphia 76ers in away games with Embiid and Harden, the totals are getting to about 235 points. They're 5-0 to the over. 4-0 to the over versus the East are Embiid and Harden together, average of about 234 points, and over their team total specifically in 5 of their last 6 games on the road. So to me, the 76ers are getting healthy, and you see other guys kind of step up as well. Tobias Harris, DeAnthony Milton. This team is playing really, really good basketball right now. I was really close to, taking them minus the 4 yesterday, but the 76ers don't function as well against teams on the road that have a win percentage that's not an upper echelon team. Like, I think that the 76ers function better when it's a primetime matchup, like the Christmas Day game against the Knicks, or like when the Clippers came to town last Friday, right? This team gets up for those type of matchups. I could see them, being in a letdown spot where the defense just doesn't bring it in the spot, which is another reason why I kind of look towards the over. On the opposite side, you get the Wizards. They're 3-0 to the over, playing on 2 days rest, 4-1 to the over as a home dog. And the total for these two teams is 4-1 to the over last 5 meetings in DC, and 6-2 to the over in the last 8 meetings overall. I like this game to go over. I like it a lot. Also, official play for me, and I'm gonna put this one in the chalkboard. I'm on Embiid tonight, man. I think Embiid continues to play well. I took him on the Christmas Day game. If you watch that video, then you cash with me there. 41.5 is literally asking Embiid to go out and get 29 points and 12 rebounds, or 30 points and 11, 12 rebounds, or all numbers that I feel like he could absolutely get. Another reason why I was looking to attack this matchup is you look at the Washington Wizards, and we've been attacking them through the center position, right? They're allowing the 6th most points to centers on the season, 4th most over the last 7 games. They're allowing the 8th most rebounds to centers over the last 7 games. Back-to-back 32 and 36-point games in Washington for Embiid. And I took a look at Embiid rebounds plus assist line. So recently he's had 43, 46, 45, a 25 against the Cavaliers. That game was on the second night of a back-to-back and a third game in 4 nights before Harden came back. And then he had 43. So that's his last 5 road games. To me, it just feels like a spot where he has to step up and play well. And he's done so. I don't see anybody on this. It's really hard to find anybody that can guard Embiid, but extremely difficult on the Washington Wizards front line. We saw AD just go for 55 and 17, and Embiid's a player that has the same skill set that Anthony Davis does. His skill set kind of mimics each other. I think Embiid has a big day today. Over 41.5 points plus rebounds is going to be the chalkboard play. I'm going to do the full write-up and post that over there. Just didn't have time. And then I also looked at Harden. I think you could take Harden a bunch of different ways in this game. I don't like giving out too many plays in the same game. So even if I play Harden, it'll probably be a personal play. I'm not giving out 3 plays in the same game. But I do feel like I said, all of the plays kind of go together. I like the over. I like Embiid to go over his points and rebounds. And I like Harden. I think his assists are in play. I think his rebound plus assist line, I think it was at 18.5, 17.5. Harden has absolutely been crushing this number. You look at his assists alone, 10 assists in his last game against the Wizards. He had a 17-game assist earlier this season against the Wizards, 9-9, right? So line came out last night. It was 10.5 at plus 104. He's averaging 11.8 assists, so pretty much 12 over his last 5 games on 20 potential assists. Washington allows the 9th most assists on the season to point guards. Specifically the position, and they allowed the 6th most assists over the last 7 games. Washington at home has given up 17 assists to Harden one time already this season, 15 to Kyle Lowry, 15 to Russell Westbrook, 12 to Tyrese Halliburton, 10 to Conley, 10 to Tyler Horton Tucker, and the list kind of goes on. So I like Harden has been crushing this number. I know he's coming off a 21 assist game recently as well. I think that the Wizards play with pace, because they probably want to run Embiid. So I think that they play with a little more pace. They're also healthy, which is another reason why I like the over. They have, Porzingis, Bill, and Kuzma back. So give me Embiid over the 41.5 points plus rebounds in this one. Like I said, I think he has a big game. And give me the over 225 in this one. Still upset I didn't get the number at 221.5. Probably should have locked that in and gave it out last night. But those are my 2 officials. Couldn't talk anybody off of Harden. Like I said, I don't want to take too long. But Harden rebounds are at 5. I think they were at 5.5, and I really like that number for Harden as well. His whole PRA line, I think, is 36.5, and that's something that he could just get with points and assists, not even with rebounds. So really like Harden tonight a lot as well. But like I said, officially on Embiid and officially on the over 225.5 in that game. So moving along, a couple of these games I don't really have anything for. That was not capping the game allows me to not try to find a play. And if I don't find a play, I can't give out too many plays. So that was one way I thought about, kind of looking at these games. Houston versus Boston. I don't really have anything in this one. I do feel like, Houston, if you guys didn't know, they came out yesterday, absolutely smacked up the Chicago Bulls. Just when you think you can bet on the Bulls, they turn their back on you if you put your money on them, and I didn't. And then just when you think you can fade, the Houston Rockets, who had lost, I think, 4 games at home before even starting this road trip. First game in 2 weeks on the road as well. They had came off 7 straight home games. They smacked Chicago up yesterday and get them out the way. Will they do the same thing with Boston tonight? Probably not, if I had to take a guess. But this could be a sleepy spot for Boston. Boston could come out here, absolutely overlook this game. So I don't like, backing teams to win by 14.5 points. I do think that the team totals are probably sitting pretty close to where they should be. Houston doesn't typically play well, and they should kind of regress back to the mean after scoring 133 points last night, but nothing official for me in this game. Moving on to the Atlanta and Indiana game, another game that I didn't take too much of a deep dive in. Indiana got smacked up yesterday in New Orleans, so road, home, back-to-back for them. Atlanta coming off 3 days rest. They haven't played since before the Christmas break. The total in this one is shot up from 233 all the way to 238. And I agree with the movement on the total going up. I do think that we see a lot of points. I think Indiana regresses back to the mean in this spot. I think Atlanta comes and they've recently gotten healthy. They have Bogdanovich back and DeAndre Hunter and John Collins, and DeJounte Murray is all back, and Trae Young is still there. I think it could be a battle of assists tonight, man. I think, Trae could definitely get to his assist number. And I also feel like, Halliburton's not going to have too many bad games in a row either. Also, the Atlanta Hawks defense is not that, especially on the road, is not that of the New Orleans Pelicans as we seen last night. Another thing that really doesn't scare me off the Indiana side in this one is that the Pacers play well on the second night of a back-to-back. I talked about it, a couple times, and it's something that I've been following. The Pacers are 5-1 straight up playing on the second night of a back-to-back. So we know sometimes you want to fade teams when they're playing on the second night of a back-to-back and they don't have any rest at all. They're not a team that you want to fade, necessarily fade. You want to back the Indiana Pacers, on the second night of a back-to-back. The Atlanta Hawks, like I said, the defense takes a step back. So I think Halliburton bounced back tonight. I couldn't talk anybody off Trae Young assist, but nothing official for me in this game at all. Atlanta does have a really, really big game tomorrow. This is the first night of a back-to-back. They play the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow. So pretty sure they probably got that game circled. Could overlook the Indiana Pacers in the spot tonight. That's what I got for you guys there. The next game is a game that I'm extremely interested in, and it's the Clippers and the Toronto Raptors. I don't have an official play in this one at all. Spread in this one opened at Toronto -5.5. It's come down all the way down to 4. The total opened at 218.5. It's up to 219 in some places, 218.5 as well. One of the things that I looked at that made me just kind of almost blindly want to take the Toronto Raptors in this spot was when you look at teams that played their previous game and they went to overtime. They won the game and it was on the road, and they're playing on the second night of a back-to-back, and they're asked to cover a 4-point spread. So they're getting 4 points. If you look back to January the 2nd, 2018, those teams are 0-9 straight up and only 1-8 against the spread, 6-1-2 to the over in that spot. So it says that Toronto Raptors should play well in this spot. Toronto has turned it around recently. I think that, getting healthy and getting OG Anunoby back last week was, absolutely a part of that. They went to New York and ended their winning streak when Siakam went off for 50-something points. Then on the second night of that, they I think it was the second night. I'm not 100% sure. At least I know in their next game, they went to Cleveland, one of the hardest places to actually go and carve out a win, and they won that game as well. So Toronto has looked, a lot better recently. I'm not 100% sure that they can kind of keep that up, but I would only be able to look towards them in this game. This is, of course, Kawhi. First game back in Toronto, and since he won the championship, if I'm not mistaken, Norman Powell is also returning to Toronto. He was a part of that championship team. You look at this Raptors team; they are 6-1 against the spread when they're at home, and the total is 220 or lower, including 4 straight covers. To me, that indicates that if it's supposed to be a defensive matchup and a low-scoring game, they typically win the game. 6-1, like I said, ATS win at home, and the total is 220 or lower. 4 straight wins and covers in that spot. This season, teams coming off overtime with no rest, like the Clippers are 1-5 straight up, 1-4-1 against the spread, 4-2 to the over. So I didn't play anything in this game, but really, really strong lean towards the Raptors in this spot. I do think I'll take them if the Clippers are keeping it close, maybe, towards the end of the game. The problem with me fading the Clippers in this spot is that Kawhi has such an impact on the game, both on the defensive end and on the offensive end, because he is kind of rounding into form offensively. He's seen an uptick in minutes. He played extremely well in the game in Philly last week. I think that game was on Friday. That game was on Friday. He played extremely well, and he's just kind of getting his groove back. The Clippers can, I think that they do want to go ahead and play hard for Kawhi because he probably has this one circle, which is why he, I don't think that they would try to win this game if they wasn't going to rest Kawhi on the first leg of a back-to-back, right? So I think that, maybe that's one of the reasons why the spread kind of come down, because the Clippers do want to win this game, probably for Kawhi, for Norman Powell, and try to get a road win. They've come close to beating a few good road teams, but besides Detroit last night, in a game that they had to come from behind and they were down 14 with 3 minutes left, they haven't really been doing too well on the road recently. So that's what I got for you guys there. Like I said, no official play, but strong lean towards taking Toronto. Also like the total to go over, but probably won't get involved in that one. Trying to play less totals and try to stick to some sides or see if I find other things that I absolutely love first. Next game, we got the Phoenix Suns and the Memphis Grizzlies. Not a game that I really took a too deep of a dive into, just because I know the situation, based off top of my head. The Phoenix Suns were getting steamrolled last week. They actually got smacked up pretty badly. I think they were losing by 30 points. And I read from the beat writers out of Phoenix that they were booing. They were booing. A lot of fans started to leave early in that game, and then they were called out by Coach Monty Williams. He called them out and said that he feels like his team is the prey and not the predator. He says that they're laughing all the time. It kind of made me feel like high school basketball. I know when I was in the, on the way to the game, Coach used to, always wanted to have a serious face and, handle business, right? He wanted to come with a business mindset. And to me, what I heard from Monty Williams was more like, we're the team that's always kind of laughing around and, joking around before the game. And then the game coming, we get punched in the mouth. So this Phoenix Suns team, I do think that they are, extremely shorthanded. They will be without without Devin Booker, without Landry Shamet, no campaign, no Cam Johnson in this one, of course, either. So I don't see a way that they score a lot of points. It makes me want to lean towards Memphis, but 8 seems like a really, really big number. I think Phoenix comes out here and tries to give it everything that they absolutely have tonight. Just being embarrassed the way that they were last Friday. They also went to Denver and lost that game, but they did cover the spread because the spread was, depending on where you got the number, you either got to cover or push if you took Phoenix in that spot, because they did lose that game by 3. I think the final line was 3.5. So, fought hard in that spot. I was listening to the post-game interviews, and Aiden talked about, just being able to sleep better at night because he knew that they played with the effort that they were capable of. So I see bounce back spots for Memphis in this one. They absolutely got smacked up on Christmas Day. Ja came out, with his new shoes on and, was talking trash about, just pretty much overlooking the Western Conference. And then, go to Golden State and lose to Klay Thompson and the boys. So, and Jordan Poole and the boys. So, I see Memphis turning up in this spot. But like I said, I think I got a little too much respect for Phoenix to lay this 8. To me, it feels like a spot where Phoenix might come out and try to give them something early. And then maybe you jump on Memphis live, because Memphis does turn up at the crib. This is their first game back home, I think, coming off 4 straight road games. So, also a spot I'm not, really looking to back them in. But they played so bad in that game against Golden State. You got a lot of different guys. You got a lot of different guys for this Memphis team that can step up tonight. Ja Morant seems like the only guy on this team that comes to play when they're on the road. Totally different team when they're at home. Jared Jackson Jr. got in foul trouble. I don't even think he got double-digit points or even 4 rebounds in that last game in Golden State. So I could see him having a bounce-back spot. Desmond Bane, second game back for him. He couldn't, get away from Klay. Klay was literally in his back pocket. They were attached like Siamese twins in that last game. So I do feel like, Phoenix isn't the greatest three-point defensive team, especially on the road. So I can see Desmond Bane's bouncing back. And it's probably a Ja Morant assist type night is what I'm thinking, because I feel like the others get involved, but I didn't play that either. I guess that would probably be my strongest look is Ja assists, and then maybe a live look in this one. Ja assists probably at 8.5. I haven't even looked at it, but that's just what I'm thinking. Next game, San Antonio, OKC. Nothing for me in this one. I didn't really cap this one at all. San Antonio is coming off a home win yesterday against the Utah Jazz. Oklahoma City's been at the crib, kind of chilling. I'm definitely not laying 7.5 points with them ever, I don't think, in life. At least not right now. Total is inflated. Even though it's coming down, it opened at 237, down to 236 at some places. But I just really didn't cap this game. I know it's a game where SGA could absolutely go crazy. Jakob Poeltl, I'm not 100% sure what his minutes will be like. I know that they're trying to integrate him back in slowly into that lineup. Could lead to some more rebound opportunities for Jeremy Socum, who finished, I think, 1 rebound short. He was at 5.5 yesterday and finished at 5. So it could be, a big game for a guy like him. OKC, we know, likes to get up and down the floor. Couldn't talk anybody off SGA. He could absolutely go crazy tonight. But yeah, I don't have a lot of notes on that game. Moving along, we got the Knicks and the Mavericks. Also another game I don't have a lot on. The Knicks were steaming hot, absolutely got smoked in their last 3 games. I think they lost to Chicago, then lost to Toronto, and then also finished up that homestand with the loss to Philly after, being up in all of those games. I don't know if they were up in the Toronto game, but I know that they were up pretty big in the Philly game on Christmas Day, and they just absolutely lay an egg afterwards. The Dallas Mavericks is typically a team that comes to play early, even though they didn't against the Lakers. So I do think the Knicks first half, they've been a machine, specifically on the road as well. The Knicks in the first half, and then they just kind of fade. I think that's a trend that we've seen, over and over again. I also think that the total coming down is probably not probably something that I disagree with. I think that the Knicks can score in this spot, and I think because of that, the Dallas Mavericks, will have to also score. I think I could see the Knicks jumping out early on Dallas, but I didn't play anything in this game. Total opened at 222.5. It's all the way down to 217 at 217.5 in some books. I actually like the over in that spot. I know Dallas typically goes under, but they've been more so relying on their offense recently and not so much their defense. So I think this game could go over. I do think Dallas been playing with a little more pace. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been shooting the ball pretty well. The Knicks have a bunch of scores as well. So I can see this game going over, but no official play for me in that one. Then the Denver and the Sacramento games. Shout out to my guy RC. We capped this one live on Let's Cap. If you guys have not tuned in to Ronald Cobain's show, I have no idea what you're doing. But we capped this one live. I had some notes on the Kings, and then we found some other stuff that I can't even remember, honestly. But I think I got a pretty good mindset of it. So looking at this Nuggets in the Kings game, right? So spreading this one at 3 is up to it's getting pushed to 3.5 now on most books in favor of Denver. Denver is steaming hot. They absolutely smacked up pretty much every single opponent over the last week and a half that's come to play them in Denver. I know that started with the Charlotte Hornets. They didn't cover that one. And then I know that they beat up the Memphis Grizzlies because I was on the wrong side of that one. They also beat up on the Phoenix Suns. And then there was a team in between those two as well. Who was that team? Let me check real quick because that's going to upset me. It's going to frustrate me. I'm going to be able to get it off my mind. So Portland is who it was. So they beat up Charlotte, 4 straight home games, beat up Charlotte, didn't cover the spread. Beat up Memphis, did cover the spread. Beat up Portland, did cover the spread, and then beat up Phoenix in overtime and didn't cover that spread because that spread finished at 4, closed at 4. I'm sorry. They won that game by 3. Now you get them in a totally different environment. First game off of a 4-game road trip. Mentioned this one earlier. RC mentioned this one earlier on his show. The Denver Nuggets do not travel well when you're asking them to go from home to road. Not 100% sure why, but typically it's their role players that don't travel. I always talk about role players and how they don't always come to play, specifically when they're on the road. You look at this Nuggets team, and I want to put it in real quick. Previous home, and now they're away. The Denver Nuggets are 1-7 against the spread traveling from home to road. So what that means is that when the last game is on the road and they're playing at home, they're 1-7, also 6-2 to the over in this spot. Haven't covered the last 3, only one cover, and that cover actually came against the Thunder. Another way some more notes I was looking to play the Kings in on this one. And I think it's important to make sure we mention that the line, if you wait for Sabonis to be ruled out because he is dealing with an elusive, I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce this word. I wrote it down, but I can't read my handwriting. He's dealing with a fracture. Let's put it like that. He's dealing with a fracture in his right hand. Of course, he's left-handed. He didn't practice yesterday. I don't think he went through shoot around today either. So I think he probably gets ruled out and they're just kind of waiting. So I would wait to play this one. Fox assists is something else that I looked at. His points and assists if he is ruled out in this one. But going back to the Kings. So first you got the injured player theory if Sabonis sits, right? I also think there's something to the Kings losing their last game against the Charlotte Hornets, before the Christmas break. So you get a well-rested, probably frustrated team in the way that they, ended their last game. Sacramento has covered specifically in 4 of their last 5 games in Sacramento against the Denver Nuggets. Denver is also only 2-7 the last 9 meetings against the spread, and 0-4 in their last 4 road games. So Denver is a totally different team when they're not at home and not on the road. We talk about it a lot with the Memphis Grizzlies. They turn up at home, but not so good on the road. We talk about it with the Atlanta Hawks sometimes, especially on Fridays. They turn up at home, but not so much on the road. Denver's also just 1-8 against the spread, playing on one day's rest this season. Kings 4-0 ATS last 4 home games versus a team with a winning record, and 4-1 in their last 5 games following an ATS loss. So typically they come back out and play hard in their next game. I like the Kings a lot tonight, man. I do think that we probably get a better line. Like I said, when Sabonis is actually ruled out, and I haven't seen that pop up on my phone yet, but I like Sabonis to probably be out in this game. And if he is, I think it's a big, big night for De'Aaron Fox. I'm probably going to end up playing De'Aaron Fox, his points and assists. Like I said, there's no replacement for this, for a guy like Sabonis. If you watch the Kings play, they run their offense through him. They dump it to him out of the high post, low post, and he typically picks apart the defense. Sometimes he goes to the rim. Sometimes he shoots his left-handed hook shot, his turnaround, or he gets somebody else involved. They do a lot of movement without the ball, and I think a lot of that responsibility goes back to De'Aaron Fox, and I would look, like I said, I think he has a big game. I would look at his points plus assists in this game. I also like the Kings plus the 3.5, but like I said, I think we can get a better number. So is that the last game or we got one more? Let's see. I think we got one more. Oh, yeah, Charlotte and Golden State. Emotional win for Golden State the other day. We see, Draymond with his tongue out and Klay standing over top of people, wobbling or whatever he was doing. Now you get a Charlotte team on the second night of a back-to-back after losing against Portland last night. Total in this one is shot up from 234.5 all the way up to 240.5. I don't think I agree with that. I actually think I like the under. I was capping this game, conflicting trends, so I didn't play anything on this one, looking at the total. But I do think that if Golden State's going to win this game, as the spread kind of indicates, it is going to be because of their defense. You don't want to get into a shootout with the Charlotte Hornets. That's what you don't want to do because they have a lot of offensive firepower. We know that their defense falls off a cliff, which is why you see the total kind of going up. So I think this is a good game for somebody like Klay Thompson tonight. I think Klay could absolutely go bonkers tonight. Jordan Poole probably can get whatever it is that he wants as well. I think there's also something to waiting in this one. Maybe I'm not saying Golden State can't cover the 4. Typically at home, we haven't seen them at home, first of all, without Steph Curry, except in the last game against the Memphis Grizzlies. But I do feel like the Golden State Warriors, should be able to score in this spot. Like I said, I think that Charlotte being on the second game of a back-to-back, they typically tail off towards the second half. One thing I looked at in this one, and I don't even know what my notes are for this game, but one thing I looked at was the Charlotte Hornets. They I think it's a 6-game sample with LaMelo Ball, 6 or 7 game sample, however many games LaMelo been back. This team is scoring 60 points in the first half and only about 55 in the second half. I had it written down somewhere. Can't find it in my notes. But that's one thing that I was looking at in this game is that the Charlotte Hornets like I said, they bring it in the first half. So maybe you even look towards Charlotte to kind of keep this game close early. But Golden State should absolutely turn up in this spot. Another way I was looking to play this game is Draymond. Looking at Draymond's rebounds plus assists. We cashed last night on Nurkic. I think that Draymond is the guy tonight that probably gets all the rebounds. I like combining it with his assists just because we know that the Charlotte Hornets are going to get the ball up and down the court. I think Draymond can absolutely turn up in this spot. Could be a potential triple-double type game for Draymond tonight. I like his rebounds. I like his assists, but I did not play that one yet either. It is on my short list. So, and that's all the games. That's all the games that we have for today. So officially, and send me your request. I see a couple people already requesting up. Send me your request so I can get you guys up. But officially for me, I am on the over in the Philadelphia 76ers and the Washington Wizards game over to 25.5. I put that out in the Bet US play. And then I'm also on Joel Embiid over to 41.5 points plus rebounds. I think he has another big game today, kind of keeps it going there. And those are really the only 2 official plays that I locked in. Atlanta and Indiana, first half over 122 is also on my short list. Probably going to end up pulling the trigger there. Also probably going to end up playing a lot of these games live, man. I think that there's something to, being able to play the games live. I know everybody can't, but if you can, I think there's absolutely something to playing these games live, kind of seeing how these teams come out And then once you've capped the game and you can kind of you can kind of predict what you think is going to happen. There's some value into being able to kind of cap those games live and knowing which teams are going to come out strong and which teams and when they're going to come out strong, right? Who's going to start strong and who's going to kind of tail off towards the end. So official for me, 2 plays in that same game, the over 225.5, the Washington and Embiid over 41.5 points plus rebounds. And then, like I said, strong look towards Draymond over his PRA. The Kings, I want them plus 3.5, but if I can get them plus 4.5 when Sabonis is ruled out, I'm gonna hop on them as well. So a bunch of pending plays. I also like the Knicks first half, but if I take that, it's gonna be a personal play. Can't give out the Knicks. Can never give out the Knicks. I'd rather cash and put that to the side, and not tell anybody about that because it can get crazy taking the Knicks out here. And then Ja assists. I talked about Ja assists. At home against the Phoenix Suns. I think the other players, like I said, step up, and Ja probably does a lot of the ball handling and playmaking in this one. So that's how I'm kind of looking at the card today. Bunch of games, not forcing a bunch of plays, just a few. If you guys have looks that you want to share, this is the time to send me a request and I'll get you guys up. 115 people watching on YouTube. Hit the like button for me if you guys can, man. Most of the time I do these shows, 400 people watch, I get like 10 likes. It's crazy. But that ain't what we're here for. What plays y'all on, man? Like I said, send me a request and I'll get you guys up. Let's see. Let's start with my guy, LJ from H-Town. LJ, what's going on, my brother? Can you hear me?
Yes, Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You good?
Happy holidays to you, sir.
Same to you, my guy.
Oh, yeah, man. I wanted to catch you. I ain't caught you in a couple days. Like I said, work's been, grinding, but finally got some time, man, and I'm shooting off bullets today. So
what you got?
About to give you some looks. Let's go with, first off, let's start my Rockets in Boston. Marcus Smart, over 7.5 assists, plus 112. The Rockets allow the most assists on the road, and Marcus Smart has averaged 8 assists his last 5 home games. And I'm also going to take the 2+ steals. He's averaging 1.5 steals for the month. And, of course, we know the Rockets allow the most steals in the NBA. So, hopefully Marcus Smart can double up on his assists and steals today and cash me on 2 props.
Okay. Hey, LJ, I don't know if you saw this, but he recently got engaged on Christmas too. So he might be feeling a little extra motivated tonight.
Hey, that'll work. Any type of motivation I need, cash me some money. So more props to him. So yeah, let's move on to this Lakers and Magic, man. I'm on Pachero, over 31.5 PRA, minus 143. He's averaging 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. And I'm going to take the 2+ steals as well for him. Because the Lakers allow the most field goals made on the road. They allow 3rd most rebounds. They allow the most assists in the last 3 games. And they allow the most steals on the road. So Pachero should have a nice night tonight. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the Magic, minus the 4, considering the Lakers are 3-12 ATS as a road dog. Let's move on to the 76ers and Wizards. Harden, over 10.5. What is it, assists?
10.5. I saw 10.5 plus money, LJ.
Okay, yeah, I got that because he's averaging 11 his last 4 games versus the Wizards, and I'm gonna put a half unit on the double because he's averaging 22 and 12 the month of December, and he's had a triple-double the game before last, and he had a double-double last game. So Harden's in the zone right now. I'm gonna go on and ride the money train while he putting up points right now. So let's stay with Harden on that one. Move over to the Clippers and Raptors. Of course, OG Anunoby, 2+ steals. 2+ steals 3 out of his last 4 games. And the Clippers allow the 2nd most steals in the NBA. Spurs OKC. I'm on Shai Gilgeous, over 31.5 points. The Spurs allow the 2nd most field goals made on the road. And they allow the 2nd most assists on the road. So I did take the assists with Shai. I'm thinking about taking the steals, but I think I'm just going to stick to the points. I don't like to be too greedy, kind of lose money when you're doing that. The Knicks in Dallas, Luka's PRA, man. You never can go wrong with Luka Doncic PRA, especially at home, because he's averaging 34.99 at home. So I'm taking the over 48.5. You never can go wrong with Luka at home PRA. I'm telling you, it's money. And the last one, Hornets and the Warriors, I'm going to take Jordan Poole over 27.5 points. He's averaging 28.5 his last 5 games. And as long as Steph Curry is out of the lineup, he's the second leading scorer on the team. So might as well ride the money train until Steph Curry comes back in that lineup. So those are my plays for you.
You got some looks tonight, LJ. You firing them off for sure, bro. Best of luck, man. I hope you cash them.
Hey, for sure. I'm going to be looking for you too, man. Cash me too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me kick it to Bookie. What's up, Bookie?
How we doing, Chris?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
With you on a little bit of a look tonight.
Okay.
I was actually really pissed about that Luke Kennard yesterday, man. I couldn't get it in. Couldn't see the lines. First, I think 4 minutes or something, he hit 3 threes.
Man, I was sick, Bookie. I was so sick, bro.
Yeah, I was salty, man. And then I was playing it live, and then I didn't play it live. I was like, do I go for the 4? And then right when I was about to do it, locks up, he hits his 4th. I was like, gotta shut this game off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started late today. I only got 2 looks. I aligned with you on the Embiid, but I played a little differently. I'm just doing a half unit on Embiid, 30 plus, Harden 8 plus assist, minus 115 on FanDuel. Building this out everywhere else, it was around minus 140, so I like the value there. Embiid 30 plus in 16 to 24 games this season, Harden 8 plus assists in 15 to 18 games this season. Washington allowing the second most points and 4th highest field goal percentage to centers over the last 30, and realistically have no answer for him down there. DGEnalytics.com has Washington's defense allowing centers to score plus 4.47 points to their average on the season. Harden's averaging a ridiculous 12.1 assists on 18.7 potential assists in December. And over the last 30 days, Washington's allowing the 10th most assists to point guards. Harden averaging 34% of his assists to Embiid, as you'd expect, the highest on the team. I like Washington to keep it close, as you said, with a healthy team. And in these close games, too, is when you see Embiid playing really aggressively, especially. So I really like that. And then a full unit play I got for tonight is Halliburton over 19.5 points. I got that at minus 107. Halliburton scored just 12 points yesterday on only 4 for 12 shooting. He's averaging 20.3 points on 15.3 field goal attempts, going over in 18 to 23 games, and 6 and 11 of December, averaging 22.5 points. Halliburton's expressed many times after these bad games that he has to be more aggressive. 12 field goal attempts for a player that can score like him, which is not acceptable, and I'm sure Carlisle was in his ear. I expect him to come out today, especially with the matchup. Over the last 30 days, Atlanta allows the 6th most points per game to point guards, and according to DGEnalytics.com, allows plus 4 points to the average of the primary ball handler this season. And it correlates looking at point guards versus Atlanta in the last couple of games. Killian had 17 on only 10 field goal attempts. LaMelo with 27. Markelle Fultz had 24 on, I think, only 14 field goal attempts. Tyus Jones with 22 on 14 field goal attempts as well. Kyrie had 33. Jamal Murray with only 20 on 13 field goal attempts. And then Bones Highland at 16 in the same game with, I think, under 20 minutes played. And then Shea, the game right before that, too, at 35. Halliburton, as everyone knows, thrives in the pick and roll, has the 3rd highest frequency of anyone in the NBA. Atlanta's allowing the 4th highest frequency to pick and roll ball handlers and the 9th highest score frequency. Atlanta at home this season has been pretty good defensively with the 7th best defensive rating. But when you look at their road splits, they have the 5th worst defensive rating in the NBA, and over the last 12 overall, of the 10th worst. Super high game total of 238.5. I'm talking really fast, so if no one heard that, you want to go check out my page, you go see that, definitely do. I appreciate it, Chris. That's what I'm on for tonight.
Yeah, I think you took 2 of the looks that I like, Bookie, and kind of put them together because I like Harden assist straight, and I like his PRA over, and I like, of course, I like Embiid. I think I kind of gave out the reasons why I like Embiid, and I just kind of altered to go to his points plus rebounds. But I like the looks, Bookie. I like the looks. I gotta like them if I'm on them as well. Yeah, absolutely, bro. I hope you cash them for sure too. So best of luck to you tonight, man. Let me kick it to Ben. What's up, Ben? And anybody else that got a request, man, send me a request. If you got something sharp you want to share, angle maybe that I didn't get to or that you haven't heard anybody kind of point to tonight. As long as you got some research to kind of back it or field play, let me know what you got, man. But let me kick it to Ben. What's up, Ben?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about yourself, man?
I can't complain. This is kind of the time of the year. It sounds like everyone else is doing the same. But we go from saying, we have one good day, one bad day. We kind of start bringing the good ones together,
Oh, absolutely.
Shit, we cashed a couple ladders last night, so we just got to keep going,
I'll start with Dante DiVincenzo. I've noticed a trend with LaMelo Ball back. His length has really bothered primary ball handlers that he guards. Dame went 1 for 10 from 3 last night, and I don't think that was, a coincidence. Charlotte's allowing in the bottom 5 to point guard threes made per game in the last 7 games. The last 7 games that LaMelo's been back. So my pivot off of that is Dante DiVincenzo over 3 threes. In 3 games, without Steph, he's hit 5 threes exactly, and 2 of the 3. The one he did was obviously Toronto, elite perimeter defenders. We know that, right? They switch everything. They're long, not great for making threes. Obviously we see how much better these role players play at home. Obviously we get them at home tonight. I like this so much. I laddered it up to 6. I got 0.2 units on 4+ at plus 355, 0.2 units on 5+ at plus 919, and 0.1 units on 6+ at plus 2100. So that's kind of my first one. Next one, Draymond over the 7.5 assists. Draymond had 23 potential assists last game. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. First home game, obviously, without Steph. The way that I read this line was if the books thought that this was going to regress down back to the average, they would have left the line the same. They did bump it up from the 6.5 it's kind of been at least what it's opened at, to 7.5, a little plus money. Kind of how they started trading Halliburton when he had those crazy potential assist numbers. For Halliburton, it went to 10.5 at plus money, then 10.5 even, then 10.5 Jews, then 11.5 plus money, right? So we see a similar progression here with Draymond, with how the potential assist numbers jumped. Again, Charlotte's not a great defense, as we know. You covered that pretty well. And they got a lot of really, really good shooters who are going to perform even better at home, which obviously correlates with, Draymond getting to 8+ assists. So I really like him. I got Jokic over 11.5 boards this morning at minus 135. I think it's at 12.5 now for slightly plus money. I don't see who is going to keep Jokic off the boards with Sacramento. I just don't. I don't see it. Obviously, we don't expect Sabonis to play. That was a huge role in this. I wanted to make sure I got it before that. But then I saw Aaron Gordon get ruled out tonight. And Aaron Gordon has been stealing a lot of cheap rebounds from Jokic. Because when Aaron Gordon feels himself, he goes and gets every single cheap rebound. Now, Jokic is going to be able to get all these cheap boards himself. He hasn't had any trouble getting to the 11.5, even with Gordon in the game. He's averaging 13.1 this month. I expect this to be a close game. I'm glad to hear that you do too, being on the Kings. So, that probably means that A1, we're blowout proof, but B, Jokic is going to have to work hard on the offensive glass. So I really like Jokic over that 11.5. My favorite play of the day, Julius Randle over 2.5 threes, and Julius Randle over 26.5 points. I wait for this day every single year.
Because he back home?
Every single year, I wait for him to go to Dallas. And every single year, we cash on the points and the threes. Last year, even in a blowout, when the Knicks won the game by 30 in Dallas, he had 26 and 3 threes. 27 and 3 threes. Line last year was at 24.5 or 25.5, and 1.5 threes. Randall had a down year last year, as everybody knows, from a scoring standpoint and from a perimeter shooting standpoint. He is back to the form he was in 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when he went to Dallas, let me pull it up. He had 44 and 10 on 6 made threes. He took 29 shots that day, 11 of which were from 3. And the game score was 117-109, so a closer game. Obviously, I know Brunson's going to be – I'm assuming Brunson's playing tonight. I haven't seen anything that he's not. So I know Brunson's obviously going to be a little motivated to get back. We all know, if Julius Randle wants to go out there and shoot the ball 25 times, Julius Randle's going to go out there and shoot the ball 25 times. The other thing that I love about Julius is that he plays all 12 minutes in the first quarter, almost every game. So he gets a lot of minutes, both against backups and without Brunson on the floor. I don't know who's on Prize Picks, but I've been on Prize Picks just cashing his first half PRAs like crazy. Like, I think he had 29 PRAs in the first half last game. So, him playing right around 18, 19 first half minutes, especially against a lot of reserves, just helps, the usage and the ability for him to score. So, I laddered Randall's threes also up to 5. Let me pull the odds up that I got. 4 plus 3s at plus 250 and 5 plus 3s at plus 700. 0.2 on the 5, 0.3 on the, 0.3 on the 4, 0.2 on the 5. And then I forgot to mention Randall, 3 threes is plus 120. I think there's a lot of looks out there. I'll say, wanted to mention this, I forgot to last couple of times. You have hundreds of thousands of options of what to bet on every night. So there's a winner and there's a loser on every bet, right? That doesn't mean we have to pick every single one. And, I guess that's what I'm on today.
Yeah. Good observations, Ben. I think you said a lot of valuable information and a lot to kind of back your plays. The Julius Randle in Dallas, where he's from, for the people who don't know, is a really, really strong angle. I hadn't really taken a dive into it, but I think you kind of told me all I need to know. But I know he plays well there.
I was gonna say the other thing too is that the books have a really good feel for Randall. Like, whenever they move his line up, he usually does really well, and when they move it down, he usually has a bad game. This is the highest I've ever seen his points prop, at least that I can remember over the last couple of years, the 26.5. So take it for what it's worth, right? Some people will be afraid of a high number.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. Best of luck to you tonight, Ben. Finesse, what's going on, my guy? Kick it to the GOAT. What up, Finesse?
What's good, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you?
Good, bro. I hope you and the fam had a good Christmas. Everybody listening, same to y'all too. I love this time of year. I can't, help but to reflect. What I'm saying, just think on how lucky we ought to be doing this, and let's keep going. Brand new year. I can't believe it's almost 2023. So
that's a fact.
Let's keep going. Bro.
That's a fact, bro. Let's keep it going, Finesse. What we on tonight, bro?
Yeah, so I had a couple looks. Definitely in line with some of the shit you said. Hold on, let me get to my shit. All right, so what do we got? I can't find this shit. Okay, here we go. So first play is Franz Wagner. I know a lot of people are on Banchero today. I think it's a great matchup for both guys. I like Wagner in the spot, though. Over 18.5 points, minus 122 on FanDuel. He's covered this line in 3 straight games, averaging nearly 22 per game. 7 of his last 8, 4 straight home games. Shot value's been super predictable, which as bettors we love. He's averaging 16 field goal attempts per game over his last 10, 15 plus shots in 8 of those 10 games. So super consistent there. And what you gotta love is he's shooting 38% from 3 on nearly 6 attempts per game over that span. So you love that. 75% of Wagner's points come from either the paint and from 3. The Lakers have been horrendous in those 2 areas last 5 without AD. 29th in opponent 3-pointers attempted and 3-pointers made. 24th in opponent points per game in the paint over those 5 games without AD. In that same span, LA ranks 27th in opponent scoring, dead last in defensive rating. Due to the number of big men Orlando have, they start Wagner at shooting guard, but he definitely profiles as a small forward. And over the last 7 games, LA's allowing the 5th most points, 4th most threes, and nearly 50% shooting from the small forward position. So I love Franz in this game. I think he easily gets you 20 plus if he gets even close to the value he normally gets. Harden's been talked about a lot, so I won't kind of get too deep into that. One is PRAs over 36.5. Chris, you mentioned something earlier, like in his rebounds. I think that's a major reason why I love the PRAs instead of just points or PAs and shit like that. I think he has a really good rebounding game. Won't get too much into it. That's probably going to be said a lot more. Third one is our collab with my man MJC. We're on Brandon Clark, 8+ points at Memphis Moneyline. Clark's just been a machine. Another guy super consistent as bettors. We love that. Just kind of knowing what to expect as much as we can day to day. He's covered this line 8+ points in 11 straight games, averaging 13.1 in that span. 15 of his last 20, 13 of 15 home games this year. This one just checks all the boxes. Blowout proof. He's going to play in garbage time as a part of the second unit. Triple J foul trouble, as we all know. In 27 minutes, he got 27 minutes last game when Triple J got into that foul trouble. His scoring jumps nearly 2.5 points at home as opposed to on the road. And it wins by 10 plus. So we're talking about that blowout factor that, we all scared of with this NBA year. He's covered this line in 11 of 12, wins by 10 plus, averaging nearly 14 points per game, and in 12 of 13 home wins this year. Phoenix just without some key pieces, especially defensively. Landry Shamet is out now. Payton's been out. And yeah, that won't help with Phoenix defense. That's already allowing the second most points and the highest field goal percentage to power forwards over the last 7 games. He's taken full advantage of this matchup historically, covering at 8 of his last 10 versus Phoenix. 12 points per game, 62% shooting in that span. Just some trends. Phoenix is definitely going to have revenge on their mind, getting spanked right before Christmas on their home floor by Memphis. Still like Memphis in the spot. Key injuries. Memphis has won 3 straight in this matchup, 7 of the last 10 versus Memphis. Memphis also been dominant at home, 13-2 straight up. Top 5 offense and the best defense in the league at home this year. Phoenix is just 3-8 straight up last 11, 5-10 straight up on the road, and 6-4 straight up last 20 playing in Memphis. So love the spot for Clark, love the spot for Memphis. And then we doing one of those $10 10K challenges that's going around Twitter. So our play for that is Joker 8+ assists and Clay 20+ points. That's -120 on FanDuel. Love the spot for both guys. So 4 plays today. Harden PRA, Franz Wagner over 18.5 points. Clark 8+ points in Memphis money line, and Joker 8+ assists and Clay 20+ points. That's what I got, bro.
Oh man, yeah, that sound official. That sound official to me, Finesse. Good looks, bro. I like those too. Real close to getting there with Clay points as well. I think he's sitting at 22.5. Extremely fast-paced game. I do expect him be the guy to shoot 20+ times for the Golden State Warriors. So couldn't talk anybody off Clay. Just haven't pulled the trigger with him. That's one of the things I was looking at to kind of stay away from that side. I think it's interesting to note that a lot of these spreads are like a not they're teetering on like really close to being a 1 possession game, but 2 possessions at the most. You go through and you just look at it. The Charlotte and Denver game 3.5. Golden State and the Hornets are 4.5. Same thing with the Knicks and the Mavs. I think we also see it in the Atlanta and Indiana game. That's a 1-point spread. The Clippers in Toronto, same way. Lakers in Orlando, same way. So we should have, even the Philly and the Washington game. All these games are are with the line set the way they are. Should be a 1. The books are anticipating a 1-2 possession game at the most. Not to say that it can't be blowouts, but I think that's really it can be difficult to pick sides in that. Which to me kind of makes me want to kind of pivot towards the total. I think pivot towards the totals and go more towards the player props, especially because they've been pretty successful lately. So I like the looks, Finesse. I like that you not really forcing the sides either. Kind of dumbed it down with Brandon Clark and the money line for the Memphis Grizzlies, which I do think that they win that game. For all the reasons that you stated as well. So yeah, I like those. I like those a lot. Hope you cash all of them, my brother. Let me kick it to Dream real quick, and then Cam, I want to come to you as well. What up, Dream? I'm good. Can you get a little bit closer to the phone, Dream?
How is that? That's good. It's not out to my
Yeah, you sound like you're a little ways away from the phone. Dream drops. So I'm gonna try to get him back up. Cam, let me come to you real quick, and then we'll get Dream back up. What up, Cam?
What's good, man? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. Yeah, you good? How about you?
I'm good, man. Let's get into it. Let's stick to the trends that I know I give a lot of Raptors plays, but cash, I don't think anyone cares. So Fred VanVleet still over 2.5 at -125 for threes. For me, you just gotta bet it until they juice it back up to -140, -150. I'm also parlaying that with his points over 18.5 because Kawhi and PG are going to be busy with OG and Pascal tonight. Who's guarding Fred? I'm not worried about Reggie Jackson. I'm not worried about Luke Kennard. I'm not worried about Terrence Mann. I'm sorry. Fred picks his spots. It's kind of the Raptors the hardest team in my opinion to cap for point scorers because they all have the ability to go for 20 and they pick their spots. Other than Pascal, he just goes off pretty much every night now. I think tonight Fred will understand that he's got to be the guy with the attention that the other guys are going to get. That being said, I am going to also take Pascal's threes. He's hit this number the last 4 games. He's shooting 5 a game. It's over 1.5 at plus 140. I just love the value there. If you're afraid of Kawhi or PG being on him, that's completely understandable. But at that value, plus 140, a volume shooter like Pascal, who's been told and it's been made understood to him by his coach that he's got to take more threes to ease the pressure off our team. He's one of the better shooters. It's just something you can't ignore when he's hitting it at that clip. The line's not out yet, but I'm going to continue with the trend of attacking Jamal Murray. So when Fox's line comes out, I'm betting it. It's basically I've lost count. I've lost count of how many point guards have cooked him. This is hit basically every time I'm giving it out. The only thing I missed on last time was I gave him Dave's threes instead of his points. He went for 30 and hit 4 threes instead of 5, so that was annoying. But he cleared his points easy. So we just got to keep attacking Jamal Murray until he gets ready, decides to play some defense. He just given up every single player who goes up against him. So I don't know what the line is yet, but keep an eye out for it. I'll probably post it on my page when it actually comes out. That's a big one. And then going back to the Raptors game, even Zubac, his line set at 8.5. Last 6 games, centers have gone over double digits against the Raptors. We're not a big team. We're long. We switch everything. We give up a lot in the middle. We give up a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of tip backs. Mobley and Jared Allen both hit their prop on. I'm talking like all the way back to the Golden State Warriors game. Looney got 11 points on us. I got no worries that thinking that Zubac is going to go over 8.5 tonight on us. And that one's set at minus 105 too. So that's that's like my favorite look against my own team. I think he clears that fairly easily. So yeah, man, those are my plays for tonight. Those are my officials. Honestly, I hope everybody cashes and honestly, if you ever have any 3 looks, let me know and I'll take a look because that's basically the market I play. But yeah, man, good luck to everybody. Oh, my bad, I forgot. I wrote this one down. I didn't give it out yet. Harden over 2.5 threes, plus 110. Same deal. He's 5-3 in the last. He's taken about 6 or 7 over the last 7 games. Until that's not plus money, I can't not bet it. It just doesn't. Again, it doesn't make sense. There's certain lines that I like to target and go after when it comes to the 3-point market. That just ever since the league's changed and everybody's taking so many threes, you look at their percentages and you look at some of these lines and you look at the value. It's you got to take it. So for me, James Harden over 2.5 plus 110.
Okay,
so that's my last one.
Solid 3-point looks. I like the breakdown, Cam, on the Fred VanVleet, right? Like you said, like Paul George and Kawhi probably not going to be guarding Fred VanVleet, so he's going to be the guy, that probably the offense going to have to be, going to. So I think that was really I mean, I know your team too, right? Like you're in Toronto, you know how your guys play, you know how they function, you know who to to attack based on the matchup. So couldn't talk you off those plays, Cam. I hope you cash them, bro. I hope it's a real profitable night for you.
I have one question for you.
What's up?
And it's on your team. I know we don't like Orlando when they're favorites. Do we like the Lakers tonight in the money line spot?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I feel like I'm not saying that the Lakers can't win this game outright tonight. What I am saying is that it's the first night of a back-to-back. Do you catch the fall of knife? Because on one side you got the Lakers who haven't won a game on the road. They're 0-6, I think, last 6 road games, and then you got the hottest ATS team on the opposite side. The Orlando Magic have covered 10 straight games in a row. So that's with them even being a favorite against the San Antonio Spurs in the last game. So do you fade them and think that the Lakers are just go win this game because they haven't won as a dog against other teams. You know what I mean? So I'm not that would break my heart, Cam, for me to bet on the Lakers and then they lose to the Orlando Magic. Yeah, I'm good.
I was looking at it and I'm just like, is this the spot? The same thing. I was looking at it like, at some point this tension, it's got to end somewhere, and at some point LeBron James has just got to carry a team to just one. Just one, but like, if you're not feeling it, then that makes sense.
No. I'm good off them, Cam. I ain't betting on the Lakers for the foreseeable future, bro. We need that guy that can't stay healthy to be in for me to bet on the Lakers, or them be playing against a college team and they might even give us a run. So Yeah, but good question though, Cam. Good question for sure. Let me kick it back to Dream real quick, and then Lo, I want to come to you, and V, I'm gonna come to you as well, and then we're gonna get up out of here. What up, Dream?
Hey, shit, man. Went 2-1 yesterday. I'm sorry about SoCon, man. He was upset, man. My man was 2 dunks in the layup.
No. It's all good, Dream. You can't. You can predict what they're gonna do, but it's up to them to actually, get the job done. So, it's all good, bro. It's all good, man. We lose sometimes, but we come back. We live to fight another day. Like Friday. what you on today, Dream?
Yeah, man. So somebody, I think it was Finesse, he was talking about Brandon Clark, so I ain't gonna go too hard on it. I played his rebounds and points and rebounds 15.5. He's covered that line 7 of the last 8. He's going in double digits. I think like 9 of the last 10. So I love it, and especially because a blowout, he tends to play the a little bit of the garbage minutes, not until the end, but he'll play until like 3 minutes left until they completely empty the benches. So I played his double as well, plus 950. I'm on Draymond. I heard somebody else talking about Draymond assists. I'm on his rebounds and assists over 14.5. I just love betting against Charlotte. I do it every night in some capacity. It's just they're big. Your bigs, your power forward, or your centers gonna have a career game. I can see the Warriors going small because Plumlee isn't the most opposing force. And if Draymond get, 15, 20 minutes at center, he's going to get rebounds, and I can see him already getting assists. So I love his rebounds and assists, and I made his triple-double on FanDuel myself, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and it was like 1850. But I just looked on DraftKings, so you can get 1,800 if you don't want to do all that. So I love Draymond tonight. He's coming off of 11 and 11, and any big can score on Charlotte. They can. And my last play is LaMelo, over 3.5 threes. I've been playing it every game. I'm pretty sure he hit it every game. Last night I played the threes and points. He hit both. But I just love the threes tonight. He's gonna be jacking them up. Should get 9 to 10 attempts. And if you're not really feeling good about the threes, I would play his points and assists. If I wasn't playing threes, I would play his points and assists tonight. Because point guards be killing the Warriors. I just got Andrew Nembhard in my head when I cashed out on him earlier this month. I just got that in my head. Point guards can just take advantage of them. So I love Melo tonight. And I did play SoCon double again. I got it at 950 when I manually made it. I didn't play him straight tonight, but something tells me he's going to end up having a big game after messing up last night. So that's what I'm on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they get the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is a pretty small team. SoCon, he plays with a lot of energy and effort, and that's what you need to be able to, rebound the ball. Total sitting pretty high, so I could see him going out there, getting his minutes and bouncing back in this spot as well, Dream. So definitely not a bad look there. I like the Brandon Clark look as well. And Draymond, like I said, I'm probably going to be with you. I talked about his rebounds plus assists. I'm probably going to get there. Haven't taken that yet, but I'll probably get there on that one as well. Like you said, just kind of got to keep – for me, it feels like I got to keep attacking, this Charlotte Hornet team, especially on the second night of a back-to-back. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off of that one at all, Dream. Best of luck to you tonight. Hope you cash them, bro.
Appreciate it. Hope y'all cash too. Best of luck.
Absolutely, bro. Let me kick it to Lo, and then V, and then Monotone. What up, Lo?
Yeah, yo, Chris, what up, man? Good people up here, man. I see you got Finesse. I see RC down there at the bottom. Good people, man. Always good space. Dream said something there. He took one of my plays, actually, which I love to play. I'm also on the mellow ball over 3.5 threes tonight. Our system has him projected at 4.33, so we got him somewhere getting around 4 threes. He's definitely going to have the workload. He's going to have the capability of shooting them up because, as Dream had alluded to, Golden State doesn't guard the three-point line well at all. And I see it as a spot for LaMelo Ball to just kind of, have his way at that three-point line. That's where he's going to see a lot of open looks at. So we're on LaMelo Ball over 3.5 threes as well. And we're also on Kevin Porter Jr. over 4.5 rebounds tonight. We got him projected at 5.46 rebounds, and they got the number at 4.5. So we like it a lot here in this spot. We was on Kevin Porter Jr.'s rebounds last night at the same number at 4.5, and he got to 7. Damn near covered the 4.5 rebounds in the first half. Got it completed by the third quarter. So we like to run that back again here today. If you want to combo those two, you get plus 224 if you combo those two parlays. those 2 player props, if you want to use it as a small little leg. And that's pretty much all I got for you, Chris. Just wanted to come up here and get the community those player props. Right now, in the last 7 player props, we're sitting at 5-1-1. So doing a fantastic job at player props here over the last 7 days. So look forward to continuing that and trying to get cash to the community.
Absolutely, Lo. Best of luck to you tonight, bro. Best of luck to you tonight. I hope you cash them. V to you, and then Monotone to you. What up, V?
What up, Chris? Thank you for having me out, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. What's going on? What you want today?
So, man, it's a little bit more juice than I'm usually normal to. My parlay with something, but this is a look I've been kind of just milking for the last couple of games. Every home game is Paolo Banchero over 3.5 assists. Lakers are allowing the 25th most assists in the league at 26.3, and Paolo's hit this in 6 of his last 7 games. He's averaging 9.3 potential assists at home for 6.9 on the road. I feel like it's a lot to do with his teammates and the fact that they're just shooting better. Orlando's playing better at home, and Paolo's doing a lot more on the offensive end to find his teammates in good spots. It's been a low-key wagon. I've been kind of riding it. It fluctuates from 3.5 to 4.5. 3.5 is a number I like it. I think 4.5 is a little bit too high. He's averaging 4.1 assists at home. And again, against this Lakers team, he's playing against his idol, LeBron James. I'm expecting him to kind of want to come out here and like stuff the stat sheet, right? Lakers on the second night of a back-to-back. High total in this game sitting at 236. Should just mean points, and all we need is 4 assists for Paolo.
Yeah, okay. Okay, V. You got another player, or that's the only one?
And then everybody was just talking about a LaMelo Ball. Honestly, nothing I can really add to it that everybody didn't already kind of say in here. It's just his usage. Taking 20 field goal attempts per game, 22.3 over his last 5. And we need 23 points from him. I'm going to just take his points line. I think he does a lot tonight to get to the line. In Golden State, like everybody loves to play in Golden State against the Warriors. I just think this is a good spot for him to come out firing and aggressive.
Okay.
That's about all I'm on today, man.
Okay.
Thank you,
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, bro, for contributing. LaMelo over 22.5 points and Paolo over his 3.5 threes. He has been cashing it. I've been that's something that I've been following as well. Yeah. Okay. Best of luck to you, V. Absolutely, bro. Let me kick it to Monotone, and then Anthony, I'm gonna come to you. What up, Monotone?
Nothing much, man. A lot of smart guys up here. I'm glad to say that I'm on the same page as a lot of them. I'm on LaMelo over 3.5 threes. Everyone had a great explanation. The only other thing I'll add to that was since he's been back, the Hornets are first in pace, first in field goal attempts per game, first in points off of turnovers per game, and then third in steals per game. So they're playing an up-tempo offense. LaMelo is back. He brings a lot of life to that team. So I definitely like him in that spot. Then I like a couple under-the-radar guys on the other side of that game. I went to – this one might turn a couple people away. I went to Ty Jerome and Dante DiVincenzo as 2 guys I'm betting on in the absence of Steph Curry. Ty Jerome has 9 points in every game, averaging 11.2 on 22 minutes per game. So I like his over 8.5 points. And then I also played 7 points, and I played that in a parlay with Dante DiVincenzo to get 1 steal. Dante DiVincenzo has a steal in 9 straight games, and ever since joining the starting lineup, he has a steal in every one of those. He's also seeing 30-plus minutes. So just like I like LaMelo Ball on the offensive side of the ball, I think he opens up a lot of opportunities for the Warriors. We got to look who's been playing well for him. It's these bench guys that have been making a lot of shots, coming in, playing well. What's his name? Jerome had the highest plus-minus of anyone. Got a lot of, praise from the coaches and stuff like that. So I definitely like him in this game. And then I'll go to another bench player. I'm going on to this Lakers team. I like Paolo Banchero over 20.5 points. I'm sure people have talked about that. So another way I played it was I played a parlay with Paolo, and I also went to Austin Reeves in this game. So I like Austin Reeves over 12.5 points plus assist. And then I also played his 12 points, rebounds, and assists in a parlay with Paolo. And I really like that spot. I think Austin Reeves might not be the first name a lot of people think of, obviously, but he has been playing well, averaging 19.5 PRA in games without AD so far. He's been very consistent, got to 10 points in every single one of those games, and 13 points plus assists in every one of those games. And what I like about this matchup is Orlando's very lengthy in the paint, right? It's going to be a little bit harder for some of these guys like Russ, for Schroeder, even for Lonnie Walker a little bit to score in the paint. I think Reeves' outside shooting could definitely do them some favors, especially if he gets it going in the mid-range. So I like Reeves. I think he's a little bit of a sleeper on the other side. So I've got Paolo and LaMelo as kind of the popular guys today. And then I went over to Dante DiVincenzo, Austin Reeves, and Ty Jerome is kind of some under the radar guys for today's slate.
Yeah, hey, Monotone. Anytime you betting on Dante DiVincenzo and you betting on Ty Jerome, I know you out here doing your research. So, because I also been looking at those guys, and I know that they cashed in the Memphis game. You do expect the role players to play better at home, so I could not talk you off of kind of playing one of those guys instead of playing the regular guys like the Jordan Pooles and the Klay Thompsons of the world. I also feel like it's a little bit safer as well because. Even if the game, I don't anticipate it being a blowout, but even if it is a blowout, these guys are still going to be in the game because they're on the second unit for Golden State. So, me, I'm a big Ty Jerome fan. He played basketball right up the street from where I am. So, I'm very familiar with this game and love the plays, Monotone. I know when like I said, I know you do a lot of extensive research with your plays, bro. So I hope you cash them and, good luck to you tonight. Let me kick it to Anthony. Did you have something else, Monzo?
No, I was just gonna say I appreciate it, and I just try to find some of these under the radar spots, right? I mean, I know it takes us sometimes until 6 o'clock. That's why I was a little bit late here today. But when the public kind of flies to a certain spot, it's a little bit easier to find these kind of under the radar guys. So if anyone missed those or has any questions, they can definitely message me. I'm perfectly good saying it again. But yeah, thanks for the platform, Chris, and appreciate everyone else up here. A lot of good stuff today.
Absolutely, Monitor. I do think we had, a pretty star-studded cast too, man. And we're still not done yet. I was supposed to be on for an hour, but I got a few more minutes. So I'm going to kick it to Anthony real quick. G Smooth, I see you too, bro. I'm going to try to get to you. And Stefan, I'm going to try to get to you as well. What up, man?
What's going on, Chris?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Hey, I just had one play. Call me crazy. But Kawhi going up to Toronto at plus money, plus 120.5 points. Last night, they played the Pistons, a long overtime game. Everybody's going to be tired. I think his usage rate is going to be pretty high. The past 3 games he's played, he had 19, 16, and 28, I think, field goal attempts. So his usage rate's been high since he's been back. Going back to Toronto, though, I just think he's going to get, a good reception there. It's going to be hyped up, usage rate high, but call me crazy. That's my one play. What do you think?
No, and I think I talked about it last night with some really sharp guys in a chat that I'm in, and we kind of alluded to Kawhi as well. Like you said, I think the biggest part for me is it's 2 big parts, right? It's the return to Toronto, only his second game back after since winning the championship there for the city. He knows the rims. He hasn't shot on them in a while, but he know how to make his shot fall. Even if it's over the backboard, game winner in the corner, right? And then I also think, like you said, he's the freshest of the guys. PG played 37 minutes last night. I know a lot of the other starters played heavy minutes last night as well. He does draw. He's probably going to draw, OG, but OG being a great.
That was one thing I was gonna say.
Yeah, he go. No. I know he's gonna draw OG, which is gonna make it a lot more difficult. But at the same time,
OG is the only word.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, he gonna draw OG, but my thing with that though, Cam, is that for me, good offense beats good defense every single day of the week, right? Like certain times players can get to their spot, and it's really nothing that you can do about it. I watched the interview earlier with Paolo. I forgot who interviewed him, but he was talking about his first time playing against KD when the Magic played against the Nets, and he was like, usually I can I can at least disrupt players a little bit, throw them off their game just a tad bit, but offense always, it don't matter how good your defense is. We think about it all the time with Steph Curry, making tough shots. Kawhi, like I said, his minutes are starting to ramp back up. I also think that it's something to, him sitting the first leg of the back-to-back and playing the second one, right? Because he could have played last night and then sat this one. So all those things kind of make me agree with you, Anthony.
I think you're right about that, and I do think it'll hit. I think the one thing we will see is OG probably gets into foul trouble tonight. So.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off, Anthony. Couldn't talk you off at all, man. I just didn't get there to the window with it, but I like to play a lot. I can see Kawhi going for, 22, 23 points. Plus, the other thing I always talk about it, right? Like, we look at the games like it's, one-on-one matchups. OG isn't going to be on him the whole game. Like, all he has to do is call a pick and roll. Of course, it's going to be another versatile defender like a Pascal Siakam that gets, drawn on him if he calls up, somebody like Zubac, right? But then he at least gets his guy he gets OG off of him, and then he probably can operate a little bit more. Kawhi's one of those guys too that when he gets to his spot, it's just really difficult to stop him. He go in that category. Steph goes in that category. Of course, KD goes in that category. Kyrie mid-range goes in that category. Like, these guys can literally make their shots in their sleep, but with their eyes closed, blindfolded, all that is probably going in. So I couldn't talk you off of it. Couldn't talk you off of it at all, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely, man. I hope you cash it tonight too. Stefan, want to come to you real quick, man. What's going on? How you doing? You got something real quick you want to share?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Hey, appreciate having me up. Julius Randle was covered perfectly. I would add to that. I took the points. I took the threes. Because I'm a Knicks homer, I even took his 30 in a win at plus 500.
Okay. Okay.
But listen, I'm always up here in these spaces, and I'm always saying the same thing. And on my Twitter pages, I always say the same thing. You can trust the Knicks to be the Knicks. And with the Knicks are basically, there's always players who kill us. And it's that little troll on the Mavericks is Spencer Dinwiddie, and his 2.5 threes at minus 120. I'm all over. Basically, against the Knicks, he's hit 2 or 3 threes every time in the last 9 times, and he's over this line 6 of the last 8. So he had a terrible game on Christmas against the Lakers. So it's just perfect that, like, tonight versus the Knicks, he'll have 3 or 4 threes, and he'll have it by halftime. Like, that's easy. And the other one I'm on is it's available in some states on DraftKings. If not, you can go on Prize Picks. Is Jordan Poole in his 3.5 turnovers, which is a wagon at this point. Since Steph Curry went down, and he's like the primary ball handler, he's been over 3.5 turnovers in his last 7 games. And before that, he got 2 turnovers and 6. But if you look at his consistency, it's 4 every game, and in the last 2 is 7 and 5. The Hornets force a lot of turnovers. That's just been one of those auto plays where if it's up, if it's available, it's up right now at minus 110. Like, you got to take it every time until it fails. So those are the couple looks I got tonight.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I actually tried to play it live on Christmas Day, Stephen. But they once he had like 2, they never opened the line back up. Like, I was trying to play it at 4, but they wouldn't open it back up. I was trying to make a live play on that. It makes a lot of sense, like you said. A lot more ball handling duties, and not a role that he's extremely. I wouldn't say comfortable in, because he is comfortable, but mistakes are bound to happen as your usage goes up. So couldn't talk you off of that one either, bro. I hope you cash both of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, Spencer Dinwiddie will have those 3 threes in your back pocket by halftime. It's the Knicks. Trust the Knicks to be the Knicks.
Got you. Absolutely, bro. Best of luck to you tonight. G Smooth, kick it to you real quick, and then I'm gonna go over recap and we'll get up out of here. What's up, G?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you good? What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
My man basically said the same exact thing I was about to say about Jordan Poole, man.
Okay.
Swear to God. Hey, this dude is 8 for 9 on his 3.5 turnovers, bro. 8 for 9. Also, I got second one too. Luka Doncic turnovers, 3.5. He's been 6 for 7, 3, 7, 4, 4, 4, and 5 and 4.
Okay.
Only except the game was that Lakers game, but them been my 2 picks. I've been cashing ever since.
Okay.
Yeah, but outside of that, yeah, that's all I got for you.
Okay. Luka 3.5 threes and Poole 3.5 threes. I think the Knicks turnovers. My fault. Turnovers. Yeah, I wrote down turnovers. Said threes. Poole 3.5 turnovers over the 3.5, and Luka over the 3.5 turnovers as well. I think a lot of people are liking those looks, and both of those guys had a ball in their hands, so it makes sense. I also think the Knicks probably come with some defense. The defense typically has been playing better on the road, so I think that they have some capable defenders. We know it's really difficult to guard Luka, but he has the ball in his hands so much. I think the highest usage rating in the NBA right now, so could not talk anyone off taking those guys turnovers over the 3.5 if you guys have that available to you guys on your sportsbook, wherever you're betting at. Yeah,
good luck to y'all, man.
Absolutely. Same to you, G. I think we did a good job of covering everything, man. I know it's a bunch of looks, a lot more, to digest now. I'm not playing all the looks that you guys gave, but I think people gave out a really, a lot of good looks. And some of these things are worth sprinkling on. If they match up with your research that you've done already, then maybe that's enough for you to take the play. But I do want to, just kind of caution people. You don't have to, force a lot of plays. We have a bunch of games tomorrow, just as many tomorrow as we have today. So, yeah. Let's see. NBA Prop said, Wizards starting Gafford and Porzingis, selling out to stop Embiid. Oh, maybe so Gafford starts at the 5, Porzingis starts at the 3, Kuzma at the 2, probably Bill at the 1 and Monte Morris at the 1 and Bill at the 2. So maybe they do double a little bit. I like that look a lot for Embiid rebounds to go over if he's going to be guarding Gafford and not have to guard Porzingis at the 3-point line. So that over 41.5, which kind of leads me to my play. 41.5 points plus rebounds for Embiid is what I'm on. I'm also on the over in that game. I think the totals dropped just a tad bit down to 224.5. I see some 225s as well. I played the over 225. I think Philly kind of keeps it going. Also think the Wizards can play up to pace as well. And just because Gafford is starting doesn't necessarily mean he's going to finish the game, especially if he's not able to, contain Embiid. And I don't anticipate him being able to slow down Embiid tonight as well. I also really like the Harden look. I know Finesse was on the Harden look officially. I could not talk anyone off Harden. 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I was so close to getting there. I just don't want to play 3 things in one game, but that's actually probably my favorite game on the board. I also talked about the Lakers team. The Orlando Magic team total over. If you don't want to play the spread in that game, the Lakers haven't covered the spread in quite a while. Orlando hasn't not covered the spread in quite a while. So it seems, pretty easy to take Orlando in this spot tonight, but not something that I want to do. We see, a lot of variance on these spreads. I think, Lakers having a look-ahead game tomorrow against the Miami Heat, not too far up the road, but maybe that's a game that they kind of get up for, which, another reason why I kind of like what Monotone said, taking Austin Reeves. I think one of these guards on the Lakers is going to step up tonight and play well. Just not 100% sure if it's going to be Schroeder or if it's going to be Lonnie Walker or if it's going to be Austin Reeves. So kind of off of that game as well, but strong lean towards the Orlando Magic over their team total of 119.5 in that one. And then I talked about Ja assists. 8.5 is probably what it's at. I think, like I said, Memphis, gets their guys involved tonight and, bounce back spot from a lot of their role players. And then I know Dream mentioned it earlier as well. Draymond, rebounds and assists. Also really love that play as well. But officially, just so people don't, give me the misspeak, Embiid over the 41.5 points plus rebounds. And the over in that game, the over 225.5 is what I got it at. I like it a lot more. The lower it comes. Is my only 2 official plays that I actually locked in. Like I said, I also want to get behind the Kings, kind of waiting on the news in that one. That'll be a pending play. And if the Kings end up catching 4.5 points, I'm jumping on that when Sabonis is ruled out. And then I'm also probably going to play De'Aaron Fox over his points plus assist line as well, with him having to go back into being the major contributor for this team. So those are the looks that I like the most. I talked about the Knicks first half as well. Also like that spot a lot. And then and that's it. That's pretty much it. Always try to give out my official plays at the end and at the beginning, so people jumped in live. They can kind of hear towards the end. But also, if you want to go back and listen to the very beginning of the show when I, kind of cap all the games and give you guys a few looks that I'm looking at, all of that is available for you guys as well. So, in the show the same way as I always do. None of this is financial consultation. It's all theory and logic and eye tests and queries and trends and hours of, researching the games and watching the games and looking at highlights and checking beat reporters and doing all that good stuff, man. Bet with your head because, like I said, we do have more games tomorrow. Don't go too crazy. Not over your head. Best of luck to you guys tonight. I'm out.